Hey, hey, it's Dr. J. Hey, it's Dr. J. Hey, it's Dr. J. It is Wednesday, day 20 of the Productivity Challenge. I'm excited, and I hope you are as well. And I am going to share this thing out. Get it out to the peoples while you join. And as you join, you know the deal. You know the drill. Make sure that you're saying hello, giving me heart love, thumbs up, something so that I know you're out there while I go ahead and share this out. And you should too. You should definitely share this with someone because we are on day 20. Can you believe it? Day 20. So that means we've been going at this thing for 20 days straight. And you've stuck in there. So I'm so excited to near the end of this challenge. Not for it to be over, but because we've stuck through there. So just a few more days to go. Y'all keep sticking in there. So as you join, make sure you say hello. Give me heart love, thumbs up while I share this out. Hello. Thanks for joining. Say hello. Give me heart, love, thumbs up. Share this out. Let me know you're there. We're on day 20 of the 30-day productivity challenge, and we are going to talk about yet another hot topic. I'm just saying. So I hope you're ready for that. Hi, Mother. Thanks for joining. You're the first one that said something today. Look at you. So I am sharing this out on my other platforms while we allow Facebook to build the audience here. And we will get started here shortly. So come on into my virtual home. Get comfortable, as I always say. But you can't just walk up in my house and not say hello. I'm just saying that ain't cool. So make sure that you are hopping on, sharing, and saying hello so that I can greet you back. Okay, I think I've shared this in my final spot. Okay. So if you are just joining, make sure that you do say hello, give me heart, love, thumbs up, share this out because we are going to be talking about yet another hot topic regarding productivity. So we have been 20 days straight. Today makes the 20th day as we have progressively talked about increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. And where are we getting these principles from? I'm glad you asked. Hey, Kanisha, thanks for joining. We are talking about the intentional living book that I wrote and released earlier this year, right? So this has been, I'm just saying, it's been awesome, right? This 30-day challenge is not just for me, but it's for you as well. So I'm challenging myself to challenge you to get more productive, right? And not waiting until 2018 to do so. So I've been sharing some tried and true tips with you. As I stated, we're on day 20, so we've already talked about 19 principles. So I'm just saying, you got to catch up if you're just jumping on today. Make sure, hey Alice, thanks for joining. Make sure that if you have not been following leading up to day 20, which is today, that you go back, binge watch. I know you got some vacation coming up with the holidays and all, so I'm just saying, do something beneficial for your future. So binge watch, catch up, catch all the replays on my page at DRJATUN here on Facebook, and you will get caught up. But more than that, you need your very own copy of the book so that you can follow along. And I always brag about these productivity ponders at the end of each chapter, and hopefully you can kind of see that, right? It's at the end of each chapter that help you to drive home those points, right? The principles go into some lived experiences, some examples. It gives you empowerment, inspiration, all of that good stuff. But we want to empower you into action. So that's why those questions are strategically positioned at the end of each principle, so that you are encouraged and driven to actually document your thoughts as it relates to the topic of each of the principles. So we have talked about so many different principles, but before I get into a brief recap, because I don't want to give you all the juicy good stuff that we've talked about, and plus I wouldn't be able to cram that all into this session anyway. But for those of you who are just joining, please do, Kanisha. I would love for you to do that. Thank you, love. So before I do that, I know I have some folks on that may be first timers. And as I always say, if it's your first time, it won't be your last. But I am Dr. Jatun Dorsey, Amazon bestselling author, speaker, life and business coach, professor, and corporate chick. Lost my breath on that one. So I say all that to say, I got a lot going on, right? And so do you, right? It may not be the same things. You may be heavily involved in other things, but hopefully it's things that are driving you closer towards your dream and your goal, right? And that's the point of it all, right? We have to make sure that everything that we do day in and day out is in alignment with where it is that we want to go, because everything that you've done up until today is what got you here today. And if you're unhappy with where you are today, or you feel like you want to do better, you can do better, then now's the time to start repositioning and transitioning some of the things that you've been doing so that you can see a different future. So with all of that being said, now I can go into summarizing what we've talked about thus far. Hey, Latricia, thanks for joining. So here's the thing. I like to give you a little snippet of what you've been missing if it's your first time, right? So that encourages you to go back, catch up, listen to the replay, so that next time, tomorrow, right, that you can hop on and you'll be all caught up and you won't wonder what the heck is she talking about, because I may reference something that I've talked about in previous episodes. So I'm just saying, again, I encourage you to catch the replays. But we started by talking about reframing your mind, shifting your mindset, which is always important, right? Everything starts with your mindset. And if your mind ain't right, everything else ain't gonna be right. I'm just saying, right? We got to be honest about it all. So when we talk about shifting your mindset, it's important for us to reframe those negative thoughts, right? And that may mean that the things that are around us, the people that are around us, are influencing that negative thought. So then we need to reassess our company, right? It may be some things, or the environment, or different things that can impact the state of our mindset. So that's where we wanted to start, so we can build a foundation and or rebuild, right, the foundation that you have, so you can start anew. And from there, we went into don't fail to plan. We already know the rest of that, right? We hear it all the time. You fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we talked about actually going into a plan, right? Identifying your plan, knowing exactly what it is that you want to accomplish, so that you can have something to reference and hold yourself accountable as you progress towards your goal. Then we went into make every minute count. So that's important, right? We gotta account for the time that we have. Otherwise, we're wasting it. So we went into 5 principles in that section that discussed better use of your time, right? Keeping yourself on track, giving lots of principles and tried and true tips along those lines. And currently we are in the 4th section, which is make it happen. And there are 5 sections in the book. So we are pushing right along. We are on topic 2 in section 4, which is today's topic, clarity is king. So how much clarity do you have in your life currently? Or should I ask, where do you have lack of clarity? And hopefully your answer isn't as it relates to where you want to be. Because if it is, then we need to sit back, take some time and do some research, get a plan together, right? As I said, we talked about reframing your thoughts. We talked about recalculating your plan, getting a plan, right? And accounting for every minute so that you can be productive at every minute that we have, right? We talked about there being 1,440 minutes in every day. So we have just that many opportunities to make an impact, to do something towards those goals that we have set for ourselves. But when we talk about clarity is king, it brings me to a thought this morning that when I left to begin my commute in the morning, it was extremely foggy. And so what did I do, right? I have to make sure that my lights are on so that it helps with adding the clarity that I need, right? But as I'm driving, I'm even more cautious than I would normally be had it not been foggy. So I'm driving slower. I'm watching the folks around me as they're driving, right? And ahead of me is so cloudy that I'm looking for some lights ahead of me to help guide me, right? So when I talk about clarity in that situation, we're looking for that sense of comfort. We're looking for safety, right? We're looking for direction. And that's what we do in life. When we lack the clarity towards our goals, when we lack the clarity as far as where we currently are, it's hard to get clear on where we want to go. So that's why I always talk about starting with the end in mind, right? So that end is that goal that you have in mind. That end is what you anticipate achieving, right? But you have to be intentional, hence the topic, right? Hence the book title, Intentional Living. You have to be clear about exactly where it is that you want to go so that those steps that you do day in and day out, those rituals, which again is another topic that we talked about, they are aligned, right, with where it is that you want to go. So if you want to be a baker, right, now let's just say you want to go to the bakery to buy some cupcakes, right? And that's your only task for the day. That's your only goal. But you leave and you go to AutoZone, right? After you go to AutoZone, you then go across the street to Brahms, and then you go to Walmart. Now, granted, Walmart has a bakery inside of it, but that's not the bakery we're intending to go to. Then you eventually make it to the bakery. But the point is that you didn't have clear direction on how to go from point A to point B, which was from your home to the bakery. So instead, you made all these different stops that had nothing to do with your ultimate destination. And that's the mistake that we make in our lives often, that we don't get clear about it, right? We don't make a plan. We talked about creating a plan. And when you don't have the plan, you go about life aimlessly, right? Just trying to figure it out as you go. And that can be uncomfortable. It can be overwhelming and definitely stressful. And of course, we talk about maintaining peace of mind. That's what we're all about here. Hey, fancy chat. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for hopping on. Hey, Tidra. Thanks for joining. So as we continue on this topic, I just want to continue to use analogies, right? So that you can truly understand how important clarity is. So if we talk about my glasses, for instance, I think I started wearing glasses in middle school sometime, or maybe early high school. Can't remember. But at the time, I was so excited. I just could not wait to get these glasses, right? I was like, this is just going to be the coolest thing. Now, whoever thought glasses were cool, I don't know, other than me. But then I got them, right? And everything was so crystal clear. And now, for one, I'm dependent upon it. Right? I got to have my glasses. I can see, but it's foggy, kind of like that fog I talked about this morning. Right? So it's time for us to put on those glasses that we need, that's going to provide the clarity, that 2020 vision that we need to see ahead, to have vision, right? We have to look beyond what we can see right before us. We have to start creating that vision, that thing that's beyond what we can actually see and physically touch right now. Fancy Chat said, me too. Yes, girl, we need these specs, right? Or else you're probably in trouble if you're driving around me. I'm just saying, you might want to look out for me. But that's the point that I'm trying to drive home. Clarity is king. And there's actually a portion of this chapter that I wanted to read, because when we talk about clarity as well, oftentimes people get defeated, right, by the thought of even obtaining the clarity, because they feel like, well, first off, I don't even know what my purpose is. So how do I go from finding clarity when I don't know my purpose? Well, that's a part of obtaining the clarity, right? But you may wonder, well, where do I start with this? Because I have no idea, and I've gone about life just, doing whatever was convenient, whatever would pay me at the time. You make those convenient decisions for your life decisions at the time. And then later you may look back and say, well, this is really not even what I wanted to do. And just never think that it's too late. I want to first say that. Never think that it's too late. It's always you can make the moment that you currently have perfect. I say that every day, right? So that's what I'm encouraging you to continue to do. But when it comes to those who are looking to identify their purpose so that they can then find their clarity, my tongue just goes off, girls and boys. It just keeps rolling. So I got to slow it down sometimes. But here's a little sentence that I wanted to read. So In cases that you're trying to find your purpose, oftentimes your purpose is staring you in the face every day, just waiting on you to realize its significance to you and your life. Pay attention to those things you do effortlessly, things others consistently compliment you on, and things you literally lose track of time while doing. I'm just saying, oftentimes we do things like without effort. And we don't realize how great we are at it because it's effortless, right? And then when someone compliments you on it, you're like, oh, that's nothing. I do that in my sleep. But you're not realizing that that could be a piece of your purpose. And you feel like it's just a hobby, or it's just, something that I do that just happened to be something that I'm great at. Well, then leverage that as your purpose. Your purpose doesn't have to be one single thing, right? And we're oftentimes trying to find that one single thing that's just going to hop out and say, oh my gosh, this is it. I found life. And that's not going to be the case, right? You could be great at so many different things, right? But pay attention to what those people around you say about those great things that you do. And sometimes it's better to hear it from them because we don't realize it, again, because we're so engulfed in it. We're so intimate with those things that we are good at. We think it's just second nature to everyone. So what I got out there, what y'all saying? Alice says, good point. I should have read that before I continue to talk, because I don't know what point it was. But thank you. Kanisha. Yes, she says right. She's agreeing. Great. So y'all are still out there. Make sure that you're sharing this out. Make sure you let me know that this is resonating with you, that these are great points. I see some comments here that are saying just that. So that lets me know that you're sticking around, that this is helping you, that it's making sense. It is driving the points home. So as I always say, but I'm going to take a moment to get a sip. Okay, thumbs up. I see that, Miss Jackie. So, as I always say, take the meat, leave the bones. In other words, everything that I say may not apply to you immediately or right now in your life, right? But what's important is that you identify what does, so that you can pick that out, right? And so that you can implement that in your life today to improve in the area of life that you want to see improvement, that you want to see increase. So stick around, continue to follow, right? Because there's always going to be something that you can pull out that you may not have heard before, or something that you heard before, but you just didn't quite understand it at the time. Sometimes y'all know we got to hear things differently. Sometimes we got to hear them from a different person in order for it to really hit home. So I hope that these topics have been doing just that. Yes. Okay, Alice. Gotcha. Sometimes we often miss our greatness because we don't pay attention. Yes, that is absolutely true. We take it for granted that we're great, right? We take it for granted that, it could be, you can cook well, right? You can sew well. You can speak well. Whatever it is that you're great at, you oftentimes downplay it. I don't know why we do that. And then when somebody compliments you, you're like, oh yeah, that's just what I do. Without really thinking about it in a different way. Like, wait, I can impact lives with this, right? I can feed the homeless with this. Whatever it is, see how it ties to the things that you love, things that encourage you, inspire you throughout your life. And Kanisha, I wouldn't share on my page. Oh, really? That's interesting. I'm not sure why I wouldn't let you share on the page. Well, if you think about it, try it again after I finish up here. So maybe it has to not be live for you to share it on your page. I'm not sure. So try that, Kanisha. But thank you for your attempts, and thank you for sharing it in your group. So if you guys are still on, make sure that you do share, and want to make sure that everyone is getting this information because they need it, right? They needs it with an S. Yes, Alice, it definitely depends on the source, right? You got to make sure that it's somebody that has your best interest at heart, right? We got to be careful about what we allow in our ears, what we believe, what we take in and absorb, right? In our lives, in our minds, because it truly makes an impact on how we show up in life. Okay, so with that, as I always say, I do not want to give you too much because then you'll think you'll think that you have everything you need without having the book, right? So you've got to go out and grab your copy. As usual, I will be sharing the link so that you can purchase your very own copy, not only for you, but for stocking stuffers for the family, right? Because these will be some awesome gifts and they'll fit just perfectly in your stockings that you already have hanging up at home. And these are great for life-changing principles, right? Not just a change of clothes or a purse or whatever that will get old. So these are some things that you can apply in life every day, all day, to increase your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So make sure that you do absolutely grab your copy. So before we go, as I always like to talk about a few things that I like to get you guys up to date on. And one is intentional living. Part 2 is coming up 2018. I'm just saying, I hope y'all ready because we ready. And I say we because it's the anthology, Intentional Living Anthology, coming out, launching, dropping, as I always say, in 2018, early 2018. Myself, along with a few other co-authors, are so excited, and it is going to be a complement to my book that I launched earlier this year that I've been talking about in this 30-day challenge. And the difference is that the book that we're talking about now is sharing principles, right? These are sharing practical tips that are tried and true that you can quickly implement in your life, love, or business. Now, the anthology shares lived experiences. So these co-authors come on, they share their personal experiences, things that may have been a challenge to them or a barrier in life. But more so, how did they intentionally overcome or learn how to cope with those challenges? So I hope that you continue to look for that, because I'm sure it's something that you may have experienced. Heck, it may be something that you're going through right now. And sometimes we just got to be reminded that we're not alone. And that's what this book is all about. This second book, Intentional Living Anthology. Look forward 2018. See, Fancy Chat is out there. She is one of the co-authors. Tidra was on. She's one of the co-authors. We had some others on yesterday. So make sure that you are following those ladies, and they're going to be tagging me, because guess what? They're already dropping teasers. And y'all know how teasers go. They get you ready. And they are getting you ready with no delay, unapologetic about it all. So I just want y'all to support and to follow, because this is definitely going to be epic for 2018. Let's see what Fancy Chat is saying. I referenced your book in an interview and how it's helped my leadership style. The book is awesome. Oh, so look at Fancy Chat's testimony about the Intentional Living book. I actually even did an interview with Fancy Chat earlier this year. I can't remember which month it was. And we talked about one of the sections in the book as well. So you should catch that. Catch Fancy Chat. Connect with Tidra as well. Tidra just made, what did she say? It's going to be fun. Absolutely it is. So make sure you guys continue to follow so that you can get the latest and the greatest on that. And then, of course, Day with the Dorseys. We dropped a new episode for this week yesterday, I believe it was. I'm losing track of the days, pushing it all the way to Christmas, and I don't even have all my gifts yet, so I need to slow it down to break it down, which is one of the topics later this week or next week. We're coming up on that topic, so y'all stick around and stick around to learn more about what Slow It Down to Break It Down really talks about in my book, Intentional Living. So yeah, make sure you catch that episode, Day with the Dorseys. We talk about communication, so you have to catch that. I'm just saying, some of us need a few tips on communicating. When it comes to communicating with your partner, when it comes to communicating in the workplace, these are some tried and true, yet again, principles and tips that you can immediately apply into your love, life, and business. So make sure you catch that. And then please provide your feedback on the survey. As a matter of fact, I want to share that on the comments right now so that you don't have to wait for it, so that you don't have to dig for it, because this is an opportunity for you to provide feedback for next year when it comes to exactly what I am going to be coaching on and speaking about, because I want to make sure that whatever it is that I share with you is something that will benefit you, right? I want to make sure that it's something that you need in your life that's going to impact and also influence you, but not only influence you and impact you, but move you into action. Oh, thank you, Fancy Chat, for sharing that link. So Fancy Chat shared the link for the interview. She quick on it. That's what I'm talking about. Get them links out, girl. So if you want to catch that interview, Fancy Chat did post the link to that interview. And I just posted the link to the survey. So make sure that you it only will take you 2 to 3 minutes, I promise. If you'll take those few minutes out of your day to complete the survey, that will be awesome. And I know that you have many other things that you could be doing, right? So because of that, I'm going to reciprocate. And at the end of this month, before I close out the survey, I am going to do a random drawing for a person to win a gift that will be announced for 2018. So if you can, please, please, please take the time out to do that, because we want to make sure that we are serving you what it is that you look forward to receiving on your menu, on your platter, on your table, right? So we want to be of benefit to you. So with that, I don't have much else for you tonight. And we only got 10 more days. Are y'all ready? Because we're going to close this thing out with a bang. As you know, it's December. Comes around every year. So I just want you guys to be equipped, right? And or reminded of the equipment that you have to be great, so that you can start now and not wait for 2018 to do those things that you are great at already, right? So to do those things that you have ambitions and aspirations and desires to achieve in 2018. So regardless of what you didn't do, let's forget about all that. Let's not beat ourselves up in the street fight about what we didn't do. Now let's reframe our plan, like restructure it, right? What is it that we need to focus on for 2018? Let's get that plan outlined now, so that when 2018 comes, we showing up like what? And what? I'm here and I'm ready to show out, okay? So that's what this is all about. Intentional living, increasing your productivity while maintaining peace of mind. So guys, continue to stick with me. Make sure that you follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at drjatun.com. And I'm sorry, at drjatun. And then you can also go to my website at drjatun.com, as you see there on the lower third. So make sure that you do connect with me, right? Because I want to continue to build a relationship with you and continue to serve you, right? So the only way that I can do that is if you follow, connect, right? Make sure that you click the notification as well, so that you'll know when I do go live, and you will get that immediate notification that your girl is on and it's time to go down. It's time to be productive, right? Make sure you do that. Make sure you share this out. And I look forward to catching you tomorrow, right? As I always close out with, it's never a perfect moment. So it's up to us to make the current moment that we do have perfect. So goodbye for now until tomorrow. Have a blessed day.